And
Oh man.
they'll go for the TA pick.
Yeah, it's looking good here for RR. Like the response of the TA into the Raid King is great. You're gonna be killing off those, well, no, the skeletons, because obviously the Arcana is making a play. So you're gonna be killing off those skeleton summons really fast as the TA. You're gonna set a really fast tempo. It does tie in with RR's draft really well. You've got two big auras now, the Venge aura, the Beastmaster aura. So the Weaver and the TA is going to be online fairly quick. And of course, that's an Alacrity special. So RR's draft shaping up nicely. I think Fnatic does have ways of playing around this, though. They do have really great team fight. They've got great control coming out, especially compared to RR, where they only really have the Roar and the Magic Missile. Swap, I guess, is pretty nice every now and again, but there is a lot more going on for Fnatic in terms of AoE. So we'll see what RR does opt to close out with. Um, it does feel like they might be considering the Weaver for Hustler instead, unless they last pick a support that we've tended to see a couple of teams do. So let's see what RR does get up to. They're going to have to show their hand first, as Fnatic does have last pick.
That they do. They'll have to wait out this last ban, though. Of course, Fnatic, they already got rid of the Tusk, so just believing there's another POS 4 to come out here for RR. Not believing that Weaver's going to be the support this game, which I doubt as well. I do imagine that we'll see a Hustler hero coming out last, but yeah, we'll find out very soon. RR still going to think about this final ban. They get rid of the Storm, which Moon is still missing his own hero, and you don't want to give him that free Storm game. He is very dangerous on that hero. RR now. They'll have a think about it. I got offered is it Pan Sit? Is that the Filipino? Yes,
really?
Yes. Someone in the chat yesterday said, "Hey Mike, what are you having for dinner? You should have some Pan Sit." And I was like, "Yeah, I've heard that word before." John brings it up almost every day.
Yeah, you've got the pronunciation pretty close as well. It's
really?
like it's like pansit. You know, it's no gap between the pan and sit, but otherwise you've got it. You've got
pansit.
it. You could go down yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You could walk down to a Filipino joint, ask for some pansit, and you'd be good to go.
I don't even know what it is yet, though. I'll be honest, John. I think it's a noodle dish, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it's a noodle.
Right.
It's a noodle. It's
okay.
Something I failed to mention in our last matchup that was Philippines versus Indonesia. Obviously, the pansit versus Indomie fight, but we do see RR close up their draft with the troll. So this is going to be the Hustler Weaver coming out here, and it's something. You've got a lot of physical coming out here. The Weaver and the Venge are going to give you a lot more with their, with the minus armor they both bring, and the auras that the Venge and the Beastmaster have. So it's gelled in together in that sense. It's the response from Fnatic though with the Razor as well. They've got so much more team fight. Oh yeah, they've got so much more team fight than Fnatic, and RR are all in on just getting big. I'm not sure if they're gonna have enough space to find farm on these two farm heavy cores.
I can't remember what teams it was, to be frank, because again I have a terrible memory, John. But we did see the Razor versus Troll matchup, and that Razor just nullifies this hero so hard. It's just makes it a big creep, I guess. And we'll see what Drew can do. It wasn't Drew playing it yesterday. In fact, I believe it was RR running it. That was it was. It was an Alacrity Razor that was being run up against the Troll Warlord, up against Team of Droid last night, and they did this to a Droid, so now they're gonna have to kind of take it back from Fnatic. And we'll see how it all pans out. It should be very, very interesting between these two. Are they going to be able to deal with the Razor this game, John? Do you see them being able to actually deal with Moon?
They've got a swap to break it. I think that's your best bet in this case. So there is a way to cancel that off. I think the laning phase for Alacrity is not going to be fun. Razor's one of those heroes that can actually punish the TA. So Alacrity will have to be careful. One thing that I didn't realize they were going to do here, though, is they give KYXY to me. So it's a support Beastmaster for Hustler. That's that's not something we see at all. I want to say this is the first time we're seeing that pause for Beast in a while. I'm not sure about that one.
I can't remember the last time.
Like, the greed of this draft is something else. Like, that initial levels you need is hard to find.
You know, we've doubted RR quite a few times now, so I'm going to reserve judgment. with this draft. I agree that it looks very greedy. I would 100% agree with that. I would say that Fnatic has the better draft, but I can't say that with 100% confidence, because every time I say this about this team, they always surprise us.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to see that damn dance, right? This isn't Fortnite, right? This is Dota. We don't dance in Dota. Sorry,
we do, Mike.
I get very upset. Sorry about
Don't
that.
you play Dota while dancing? Don't you do a little jig when you kill the enemy mid laner as a pause 4? Isn't that what pause 4 players do, Mike?
No.
Especially when they play Earth Spirits and think they're really good.
Well, hold on a minute. First of all, if you do play Earth Spirit, you are really good. And secondly, I don't need to dance to show off how good I am at the hero, John. It's the other team can just lay there with their stoolless bodies, and I will respect and appreciate how good I am.
That's one way to get it done.
Another question, John. How many souls does Savage harvest? Give us a guess.
Savage, this game?
Yeah, this game.
I mean, he's probably gonna get. I don't want to say 5. It's a bit tricky. I'd say minimum of 3. I think is probably 4. I think he's gonna miss the Weaver. He's probably gonna get the TA, everyone else, but the Weaver's gonna be cleaned up. I know. Either DJ or Ice. No, DJ or Jabs, I guess.
Alright, well, you heard it here first. John says 4. I'll say 5. Just because. Because I have faith in our boy Savage. Then again,
fair.
RR, like, it's this underdog story with RR where you kind of just... You want to see them succeed, this team. It's just... They've been trying for a very long time. They're up against... I keep saying arguably, but I would dare say the best team in SCA right now is definitely Fnatic.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a very hard matchup for them, but they could pull it off. We'll see what happens. The game has officially begun now, as I see a Weaver copying a lot of damage. KYXY will have to be careful. Savage also going to chase down Nuts. Now, he did go for the level 1 Wraithfire Blast, which is a bit more unorthodox, but almost ends up finding the kill onto Nuts there, and well, Hustler will also take a fair bit of damage, and I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of that from Savage this game, because he's the kind of guy, he spends the money, he uses the money, John. Look at this. Things going on everywhere at this bot lane.
Yeah, he is not stopping, but he's leaving Jabs hanging. No high 5 for his support, and this might just lead to Jabs not helping him out in this.
Perhaps. It's so annoying as well having to play into that loser spray. I'm so annoyed if I had to play into that. Like, nobody's done that to me yet in pump games. Maybe because in Australia we're all just broke right now, but
yeah, that's fair. This dual lane though, I mean, this is a lot of minus armor once you have the levels for KYXY. Whether or not he's going to invest in the swarm early though is another question. So the potency of that combination probably not going to kick in until down the line, but with a range advantage, you can at least chip away at Savage for a bit.
Oh, Moon going to be up against Alacrity in that mid lane. Now, you'd make the argument this should definitely just be Razor favored. You've got the refraction there, but it's not really about that. Moon, once he saps all the damage out of Alacrity, it's not like those side blades or anything like that matter anymore. Even the refraction, of course, not really going to matter. So it gives you a bit of bonus damage, but that's basically just recovering what you got stolen off you. And KYXY bot lane does end up going down, being the first blood there for Jabs on the side of Fnatic.
Yeah, the Enchantress makes it pretty hard for the Weaver to really get what he wants done. Like, if you try to run away from the impetus, you cop more damage. If you run into the Ench, well, she gets to follow up with more damage. So it is actually pretty darn hard for KYXY to try to trade. It's really down to Nuts to draw that attention away.
Of course, up in that top lane, you'll see DJ there. There with the Ice on that train. Of course, the pos for Beastmaster there with Drew on the troll. It's a very interesting role to put this Beastmaster in. I mean, you go for the Boars build, I guess, here for Hustler, and it can work out, assuming you get the levels up. So, you essentially do almost the same job, right? Like, you just don't have as much farm. But that split push potential out from this pos for Beastmaster, could be pretty dangerous here for Fnatic if they're not too careful.
I think the big thing is that they're just using Hustler to clear out trees. Ice cannot maintain this lane without any tree to stand in.
That's actually a very fair point. I didn't really think about that one, but
Look at that. There's no forest left. For Ice.
deforestation, not a good thing. We'll see what Ice starts to deal with it.
This might be a bit too much initial farm going out for Drew. Like, again, that presence you have with the tree, it's kind of gone. And ooh, when you get rooted like that, you can't really trade Ice.
He does go down. Drew gonna find his first kill of the game. Spot lane, Savage. Gonna go after Nuts now. Nuts falling low, but Savage falling even lower. KYXY does get the kill first, and now Jabs trying to make a run for it. The Living Armor will save him for now, but you've got that main kill onto the Skeleton King anyway.
Yeah, it's a nice pickup for RR. I don't think you really mind too much as the Raid King, because you're still forcing a lot of pressure out. And KYXY is just not making use of this space at all. So it's still a pretty darn good time for a Raid King regardless of that death. I think RR needs to step up this lane. Maybe toss in an additional support if they want to take control. I don't think you really need Hustler up top anymore with how hard it is for Ice to just stand there.
DJ is going to show up mid lane now on that Earthshaker, but he's right underneath an Observer Ward, and he places another Observer Ward down, so that should be de-warded quite quick. Now he'll realize as well, because that tier 1 tower did hit him behind the tree line. So he'll know he's maybe made a bit of an oopsie there on that cliff, but see if they get the D-ward out anytime soon. Because Ice is still being chased down. He tries to go for the pull on the creep wave, but that has been denied, and Hustler, with this level 2 boar, is just slowing down this tree so much. Meanwhile though, Savage does end up killing off KYXY there and gets the Harvest of the Soul.
Yeah, that's the second harvest, so still 3 heroes left for him to work on, and it's already, again, another very good lane for Fnatic. They're just finding the kills here, finding the pressure. KYXY is not as disruptive, and this is going to cause issues. A very early farmed Raid King can be very hard to deal with.
This mid lane, poor Alacrity. He's been netted up by the neutral creeps of all things, and now he's going to go down. It's still going.
Oh, nuts.
Who has the Dominator here? Nuts. He'll die as well, and it was just the Enchantress. Like, Jabs, he was just off the map there, but he came in with that enchanted creep of the Troll Summoner, and with the net, of course, locking in that poor TA. There's no way for her to go, and Moon will just take him out. Now they're going to go after that early mid tier 1. Hustler, do not go there, sir. It is very, very dangerous right now. He will also go down.
Oh boy, it's a really good start for Fnatic. This early rotation mid has netted them, what, 3 kills already? And a lot of pressure on that tier 1. The biggest thing here is that Alacrity is just not finding early farm at all. He can't even farm his camps because of all the good vision coming out. And RR relies on Alacrity to set that tempo, so if he falls behind, it becomes really hard to make space here.
Bot lane's been a bit of a mess here as well. Like, KYXY and Savage has been really going at it. Savage is staying on very low HP, but he is level 6 now and does go for the early point and reincarnate. Thing is though, he doesn't feel very safe to just go in and farm up right now, and he doesn't really want to waste the reincarnate either. So it is a very long cooldown at level 1. We'll go farm the jungle and just depend on that living armor to heal him up. But that's going to give KYXY a lot of space in this offlane. And now Drew's even going to pop up. They'll spot out the Skeleton King. They'll just go for the early reincarnate kill. Savage won't even bother with the stun. Can they take him out a second time? Drew, he does have the battle trance. There's the stun coming up, and Savage is going to go for a run. Drew won't bother trying to chase him down any further. Looks like they are just going to try and set up for the bottom tier 1. However, Moon on Ice 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 doing the same thing up that top lane, forcing KYXY to try and rotate in as that Weaver. Well, that tier 1 tower not going to be lasting very long at this rate. In fact, Savage joins in as well.
Yeah, it's not a very safe spot for KYXY. They're going to have to surrender this objective. Ice 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 makes his way bot to get the D push, and
he's going to get the kill. Sakuchi's out just in the nick of time. KYXY does manage to get away. But that was a very, very close call.
And RR don't manage to find that tower trade because Ice just TPs down and D pushes, he ults back that tier 1. You're seeing the Treant in action. It's just really hard to get a push going up against this hero very early on.
It's almost impossible. All these tier 1s just have full HP right now. With the tier 1 mid and the tier 1 top going down for the side of Reality Rift, they're going to lose control of their own jungle. So Alacrity doesn't really have much place to farm right now. In fact, Savage is going to come in. Refraction is going to be there, so Savage will not bother chasing. But they're going to come in with Nuts now. Nuts trying to loop around there. It's just not going to work out for him.
Yeah, it's really risky to walk up in this jungle. Look at all the wards you have from Fnatic's side. They've just got complete control in this area. You're not going to be able to find farm, and Fnatic with this trap, they're not going to relent. They're just going to keep playing aggressive, keep finding aggressive farm, and keep buying out space. Like, this is still giving space to their supports to find gold. DJ is on track for maybe a minute 12, minute 13 blink if it does get slowed down a bit, but that's still going to be really fast for our pause for Shaker.
Oh, Drew, he's going to find Ice Ice Ice. Nice pick up there for Drew. Well, Drew will give Ice 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 the tip. Here's the thing, though. Like, you were talking about the fact that they're shutting down that jungle. The beauty of that is Alacrity can't farm. Like, the TA relies so much on that mid lane / his own jungle that when you've lost both of them, you know, you're at the 10-minute mark now. You're hoping that this TA would be very, very close to a Desolator. He still hasn't got the first Mithril Hammer. He's not even halfway there.
Yeah, it's a really slow start, and that will cause issues for RR. They do depend on Alacrity to give them that momentum. They are trying to take the tier 1 bot now. So they're trying to open up that bot jungle for themselves, but again, Ice 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 is still around. And you can chop down trees with Hustler, so you might find this actually.
Nice raw Ice 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 right underneath that Hawk of Hustler, but what do you do after you find him? Now the rotations are coming in. He baits Drew back in. Overgrowth is around. Drew, you may have stuck around a bit too long here. He does have Battle Trance, but it's not going to do anything with all that damage being removed. There's a tip from Ice Ice Ice, and Drew won't even bother popping the ulti. There is 0 point in doing so. And, I mean, that was 174 damage lost to Moon. It's not going to be an easy troll or TA game, that's for sure.
No, it's going to be really hard to find the space to actually get that done. You're going to need level 6 on your Venge, which is not something you tend to prioritize when you have the Venge. But you really need that swap to break that link, and it does get book priority in this game. So you will have a way of breaking that at least from RR, and that might give them opportunities to fight out. Wouldn't advise it. They still need to farm up. Best thing to do is just use this time to give Alacrity space, have Drew lead one a bit more forward in the lanes, because he can play around with Battle Trance a bit more. Alacrity's just a sitting duck.
Okay, well, XY is going to be careful up that top lane as well. They want to slow down DJ on this Earthshaker, but he's got the... That is going to be a quick blink, man. But it's we're about 12 minutes in. He's about to have it. That is way too much farm for DJ.
It's one of the things that the Treant enables you to do. Ice just switches lanes, somewhere a bit riskier. Even when there are 3 or 4 heroes, he's fine as a Treant. Like, DJ gets all that space in the world to farm up. RR, on the other hand, can't get that done. Like, Hustler would like the jungle, but Alacrity needs that jungle. And Drew as well, he needs to farm up, but he has to play in the lane to give them some presence elsewhere and try to push.
Well, there's that Blink Dagger we talked about, and well, RR, they're going to try and push down that bot T1, which is still at full HP. Ice 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 defending it with his life, and you're going to be fighting into the Blink Echo. So this could be very rough. Overgrowth going to come out. Ice just going to try and survive here. Nuts taking a fair bit of damage.
Nuts?
No, Nuts, that
Nuts?
wasn't a swap. He does get a roar off. He'll salve up through the damage of that tier 1. Ice, he's just going to keep going after the Venge. Now Moon comes in, going straight after Nuts. Ice does go down, but now DJ is in there with the Fisher, blocking Hustler in. He's got literally no way out. So you get a Treant Protector, but you lose both your supports on RR. Well, I guess maybe you bought a bit of time for Alacrity to try and farm, but not so much. I mean, Savage is right around the corner. And they might even pincer in Alacrity if they do get some vision here on that TA, and they have. They just found him. So here comes DJ. You got the blink up on Alacrity now, so he should be able to escape, and a nice TP up does get out safely.
Yeah, it's good farming coming out from Alacrity despite all of his slowdown. Like, he's not too far behind considering how rough his mid lane was. So you are seeing decent progression here from RR. They're only about 1k behind, but Fnatic, they smoke up.
Oh, Drew. There's not much he can do now. Moon's got the link up. There's the Fisher. Drew's just going to run up the staircase, try to delay things, but now DJ's jumping in the backlines. Drew, he has literally 0 damage. He is, well, there's the Echo as well. DJ's going to find both of them. Yeah, it's one of those ones, John. One of those games. So, you've got to explain to me and the viewers, John, how do RR come back into this? Because this is, it doesn't look so bad with the 2k net worth lead, but it's really bad right now for RR.
Yeah, you've got to give space to Alacrity to farm up. He's not in the position to fight. They're just rotating between him and Drew to show up in lane. Beyond that, they just really can't do as much, although maybe on Moon.
Yeah, maybe they could try. Oh, there is going to be a roar out. Overgrowth there in time. Moon, he's actually going to get swapped back in, though. They should be able to secure him, but he gets the Yules off. Ice falling low, but won't die yet. No, he does now. That is 2 cores going down for Fnatic. And I suppose that answers my question. Just kill off this Fnatic side. And they do. They get a 3 for 0.
Yeah, that's pretty confident of Fnatic to walk up there. They were trying to de-push the bot lane, but they're punished for that. So this should give RR some good space on the map. They will look to really chip away that tier 1 before Ice can heal it up. It's going to be important to hit that timer, and looks like they will get it. So, a nice objective for them. I mean, hopefully? Greg, surely that gets cleared out, right? Yeah.
It does, eventually.
So
that is them
now
just claiming back the tier 1, though. They are still 1 tower behind.
Yeah, but this does give them a little bit of access in that bot jungle. You know, this is where they have been successful in farming. So you've got that space kind of secured for you now. And Fnatic has to be a bit careful venturing there. Maybe get some D-wards off. I mean, the big thing is that even if RR is keeping up, you're talking about a free farm Raid King here.
You are.
He's got the Sacred Relic up. He's gonna have the Radiance up, and with 3 heroes that rely on physical damage, I mean, they're gonna be missing a lot of damage you're just kind of mitigating with that Raid King living for so long.
Well, Drew's got a Diffusal Blade up now, though, so you might be able to actually go for another big team fight here. With the Diffusal Blade and Battle Trance, I don't believe he'll have anywhere near enough mana on the Wraith King to get that second life off. The thing is, though, you've got to make sure Drew doesn't get Static Linked. That's the problem. If he gets Static Linked, he can't Battle Trance. It's just pointless. You could make the argument he could pop Battle Trance and just drain literally all the mana of the whole side of RR, and even without that base damage, you could still just leave everyone manaless with Battle Trance, but apart from that, so I'm not sure if that's what Drew really wants here. He definitely wants to try and kill some people off. So somebody has to deal with that Razor.
It is a bit tricky, considering how tanky that Razor is. You don't quite have a lot of magic damage here to just insta-burst. So you're going to be relying on those right clicks, and again, just not been a good time. You look at Savage, finishes up the Raid Kings. So he's got all the presence in the world with Raid King. Just has to worry about Drew if he gets jumped, but beyond that, should be a good time here as Fnatic just dip into the Rush Pit.
Why not? Radiance, got plenty of damage, you know you're ahead. I wouldn't actually blame RR for trying to fight this, but the thing is they don't know this is happening. They do scan in the middle of the lane. That was a Fnatic scan coming out just to see if they were smoked up, and obviously they aren't. They have no clue what's happening. And so Fnatic now just going to get the freest Roshan of their lives. Savage going to take the Aegis.
Yeah, that's a really late scan from RR, and that's going to waste it. That means there's an opening once more for Fnatic to just walk wherever they want on the map. RR's got to be a bit careful in this time. They can kill off Savage once. Twice is asking for a bit of much.
Alacrity, Fisher going to connect. He just picked up that Deso though. They may be willing to try and fight this, but they won't quite yet. They are a bit split up, so Nuts. He's going to get linked up with the Yules, and that almost guarantees his death. Bounty claimed. But now RR, of course, are just going to split up. You've got to give credit over to Alacrity though. He's really starting to catch up in that farm game.
Oh?
Ooh, Jabs, that's a lot of damage. He's going for the side blades on Jabs, but doesn't quite get there. But now the Roar onto ice. He can't overgrowth in time. All right, a good start. DJ gonna jump in. Now gets the Fisher, enchant totem as well. Alacrity doesn't want to die like that, but he does. And it goes to 23 Savage as he harvests more bones for himself.
Yeah, it's starting to be a bit rough here for RR. I mean, they're still not that far behind. Like, they're still finding farm on Alacrity, on Drew, but they are bleeding out kills they really shouldn't be. Maybe wait out the BKB timings. Once you have that, I think you have a lot more presence in these fights. You don't need to worry about the you don't need to worry about the control coming out from Fnatic.
Oh,
that's going to
no.
be big, although... Yeah.
KYXY. Doesn't have mana for time lapse either. Oh, he does. With the 2 stick charges he had left, he had barely enough. But he's still probably dead. They have vision. This Kuchi will wear off, and he does go down. Moon will pick up the kill there. Just a great heads-up play out from that Razor. Using the Plasma Field to get the vision of that Weaver and cancelling off that TP with the Yules he had. Nah. And look, it's still buying time for RR. Right? You're still getting a bit of space here for Drew and Alacrity to keep farming. But it's going into that Wraith King, and, well, Nuts now does also end up dying on the Venge.
Yeah, he was trying to catch the outpost right before minute 20 to get more EXP. Doesn't manage to get that done and is kind of sacrificed. So a nice pickup for Fnatic, 16-8. And yeah, I think right now for RR, they're just trying to make use of this space. Drew is rushing the MKB to try and deal with that Radiance Burn into the BKB. So both really important to stand and fight, but I mean, you've got the disarm on Moon, so even if he's forced to kind of static link one, he has the disarm for the
Echo
other
DJ, he just jumps in straight onto Drew. The battle trance will be there in time. Drew, can you fight back here? He might almost get DJ, but they have the enchant totem stun. And that's another one. I believe there's only one left for Savage to harvest.
Ooh. That's it's not the way RR wants.
Moon, he's in big trouble, John. That's a big pick off there for RR, although no, he kills off Nuts. Now KYXY going to try and take him out. He's just going to use up and run away. Hustler will also go down. Moon, he finds a secondary, but can you get out? That's the real test. No, the Meld Strike, it misses. It misses up the hill. KYXY still trying. Disarm is there. Moon, no. Sakuchi will be enough. Oh boy, that was a close call. I wouldn't have believed my eyes had he gotten out of that one.
That was much closer than should be comfy for RR, and they're starting to slip in terms of net worth as well. It's now a 3k lead for Fnatic. They have to stop throwing Drew and Alacrity out. It's okay for KYXY and the supports to die. I think at this point, someone's going to have to be thrown out there. It might as well be one of those three. You can't allow Drew and Alacrity to put themselves out there. They need to farm the BKB and MKB up, because without that, they just don't do much.
They're going to Savage now. Magic Missile there in the bot lane, but the disarm is there from Savage as well. Now they'll concentrate onto Nuts. Nuts will just swap away. KYXY around as well, but Nuts is dead. DJ now just trying to run. Overgrowth out. Alacrity still can't kill off that DJ Earthshaker, but KYXY will get it. Now turning around onto Jabs, but here comes Savage. There's the Roar coming out. They'll get Ice Ice Ice. KYXY, he's on a triple. Now it's only Savage left there. Moon not around the area. Savage will die a second time, but he had the Aegis. Back up. Now Moon joins in. Drew pops the Battle Trance. The Link's not going to be there in time. KYXY, he gets an Ultra. He wants the Rampage. Moon, he's trying to link his way to victory, but no!
Oh.
KYXY does get the Rampage. Oh, and that's going to bring him way, way closer to that Aghanim Scepter he's trying to get. He's only about 800 gold off.
Oh, man. Oh, that's a big win for RR, and that turns it all around. Down to less than 1k for Fnatic in the lead. They can start melting towers now. I mean, Alacrity's had the damage for a while. They just haven't had the opportunity. With that, tier 1 mid's gone. You're seeing the build-up for RR into those key items. I believe that is the MKB for Drew. So his damage just becomes a lot more consistent. You're going to be seeing the BKB from Alacrity fairly soon as well. Just lacking around 800 gold there. So the cores from RR are suddenly not as controllable anymore with these pickups, and Fnatic, they need a bit more on Savage. He did end up rushing the Heaven's Halberd, which is great, but it's not enough with those two Heaven Halberds on these cores. They need a lot more coming out from Savage for him to tank up. Probably look to him to hit his level 20 talent as well before he's going to be really comfy and taking these fights once more.
I think this is, it might be RR's time. Like, with that MKB up now and Drew, maybe time to go. You want those BKBs out as well, but how confident are you that you can take this Troll TA to the late game? Well, maybe now with that Aghanim Scepter on KYXY, you're feeling very confident. So you're essentially going to be able to continue to reset life every 16 seconds. So it's Aghanim Scepter Weaver up against the Skeleton King of 23 Savage. Essentially, just everyone can have multiple lives now, not including the Aegis that you can pick up later on. I feel like we've seen this before. So, see who really is the unkillable one here between these two. Well, Savage, he's going to continue farming that Dire jungle. He's still feeling confident. He's just trying to go after that AC now. Should have it up soon. Moon as well, going for the Shivers, but they are coming in. Raw going to be out there straight onto DJ. He's way too far forward. He goes for the Yules. Savage trying to help, but they can't, and DJ will go down straight away. Now KYXY getting clumsy netted up. They are going to have to go through a secondary life, but they're willing to, as long as they can get through both. But Ice, he's blocking the way, and now DJ will buy back, making it back to this team fight. There's the Battle Trance, but there's no damage with the Heaven's Halberd and the Link. Drew, he will get the first life, but there's the Fisher, locking them out. Drew does go down, now going after KYXY, who has the time-lapse up in 5 seconds if he does need it, but he'll just go for a run. I believe this Weaver should be okay, but ultimately a 2-for-2 trade, still going favorably, I believe, for well, I wouldn't say 2-for-2, because you only got the Wraith King Reincarnation life. So it's more like a 2-for-1, but there was a buyback from DJ out there.
Yeah, it's still pretty good for RR. I think forcing the buyback out this early does give him a lot of opportunities, and DJ, you gotta be careful there.
Yeah, it's just getting caught out here, although maybe not. KYXY Echo will be committed, just locking him down. They have the fish around as well. Time-lapse is there, though, so he'll just commit, but Moon is going to follow him with the Static Link. Alacrity with the traps just going to slow Moon down. KYXY will just be perfectly fine. In fact, now they may think about turning onto Moon, but they'll wait out that Static Link damage to be back, or maybe they won't. They'll just go in with the Raw there from Hustler. Now, Yules will come out from the Razor. They do have help coming in. Overgrowth from Ice onto that TA. Alacrity did pop the BKB, trying to go for the Melt Strike, but he has no damage. Nice time-lapse, though, on the TA, but he is going to go down. They will secure the kill there on the side of Fnatic. Now KYXY just trying to get out of there. He should be all right. I say that, though. They're still chasing, but no, he's out. He's perfectly fine.
Yeah, it's getting a bit wonky with how they exchange. It looked pretty bad for Fnatic at first, and they sacrifice that slam just to get KYXY, but they find a bigger kill in Alacrity. So they do get a little bit more for their trouble. Still very close game, 23 to 15, but very close in terms of net worth, as they do try to hunt more here, Fnatic.
Yeah, poor old Nuts. He'll get used up. DJ's going to be around the corner just in case they need the help, but they definitely don't. Now, Moon will pick up another kill for himself. That's his 15th kill of the game on this Razor, by the way. Just playing out of his mind, Moon.
Yeah, it's a early aggression you're afforded to as the Razor, having a lot more presence, and he will have even more presence once he finishes up that Shiva. So you're going to have the Shivas and the AC from Fnatic at a very good time. It's going to line up with each other. And they do go straight to the pit. RR once more. Not quite where it's going on.
They need to fight back with this, though. They can't just keep letting these Roshans go down to Fnatic. I believe they now know. Fnatic, they are going to back off. Moon going to rush up to the high ground there, going on to Nuts again. Drew's going to be right around the corner. He swaps out, but he is going to die straight off the bat. Doesn't have buyback. Now, who have they got there in the Yules? It's going to be Hustler on the Beastmaster, being perma-stunned up here. Should also be dead. Another great little engagement out from Fnatic. And now they can very easily take that Roshan for free.
Yeah, there's no stopping this without the Roar. You could try to make plays with maybe tossing a hero in and time-lapsing back immediately, but just really risky, and RR not in a position. So second Rosh going the way of RR, Aegis and Cheese. You've got to contend with the multiple lives of the Wraith King once more. And it is tricky. You've got level 20
Alacrity.
talent as well.
He's got to be careful, Alacrity. He's farming very close to that Roshan. There's that Aegis. There's that Cheese going on to Moon now. So Savage, okay, has 3 lives. Feels good. It's going to be very hard to get through all that. Or maybe not. RR, they've grouped up mid lane. Swap out from Nuts. Now with the Magic Missile, Alacrity does come in for the Melt Strike. Savage, he might lose his first life very quickly on, and it looks like he does. Now Moon rushing in to try and help him out. Drew, he'll be the target. The Clumsy Net is going to be there. Alacrity pops the BKB. Now the Battle Trance as well. Drew, still alive. Now the Roar flying out. Is it enough? Drew, he's falling very low here and will eventually go down. Now Fnatic still going on to the side of RR. DJ trying to catch out that TA, but he can't quite get there. Overgrowth, however, who have they caught? It is going to be the Beastmaster Hustler. He will end up dying to Ice Ice Ice. Fnatic still in the driver's seat here, taking out that mid-tier 2 tower now and going straight for a mid-tier 3.
It's going to be hard to fight this one out, Mike. You've got Reincarnation back up, and the Aegis is still up, of course, so Savage still has 3 lives. I'm not sure how you actually empty this guy out. It's very hard. With that level 20 talent, you can't drain him out with Drew anymore.
The repair kit going to help things out a little bit. It's definitely slowing down the process here, but not quite enough. Fnatic, of course, not going to be willing to back off yet. They throw a stun out onto the TA, and now Moon just dives tier 4 towers. He doesn't care. He's taking a fair bit of damage, but it just doesn't seem to matter. He'll just take the damage and back off, and no, he'll come back for Nuts. Nice time-lapse out from KYXY. Will save the Vengeful Spirit. But Fnatic can easily go back for that melee barracks. Moon, with all that bonus damage, can take it much faster now, along with Savage. Drew is back up now, though. They're going to go on to Savage again. No, they'll have to back off. The Heaven's Harbour just proving too annoying here for this troll. Savage will lose his reincarnation again. Still has the Aegis, though. And he'll just run away. Do they swap him in? No, definitely not. They won't bother.
No. Yeah, and Fnatic again. Just the unkillable strat in play. I mean, RR can stall it out with their time-lapse, but it's not the same. Oh, yeah. There you go.
There you go. Like, Fnatic, they were feeling a bit behind, didn't they? They needed that Paladin Sword.
Every time tier 3s come out, Mike, the leading team always finds a first drop Paladin Sword. I don't know why, but there it is. And of course, Savage, feeling great, goes back to the tower. He still has that Aegis for about 2 more minutes. There's really nothing stopping him from just doing this.
With the Paladin Sword and Vampiric offering that he has there, he's literally gonna go back up to full HP with lifesteal if he crits once on a hero. That's the worst part for RR here. Like, you've just gotta disable him for so long to kill him off 3 times. And if he crits, all that HP is basically coming back with all the lifesteal he has. Alacrity gonna get stunned up. The Link is there as well. You've got BKB, but Nuts will just try and swap him out. Now Nuts will die though. In fact, never mind. The time lapse will be there in time. So RR all still surviving, but the Rax is not. And Fnatic will just keep going down, perhaps up to the top lane.
Again,
They'll
how
get
do you stop
started.
this? Aegis is still up for a minute. Like,
That was my question, John. I don't know how you stop it.
oh boy, it's tricky. I think they're just gonna have to concede a Rax unless they can find a big pickoff in the back line.
Well, you're not just conceding Rax, John. This is Mega Creeps you're conceding. I don't think you can afford to do that. Moon? This might be the final team fight here for RR. There's not really many buybacks left. Drew swapped out again from Nuts. Just through the Yules. But you've got to start the fight. You can't just keep chipping away like this. Maybe the Aegis expires soon. They'll jump in. Drew onto Savage. But again, the Heaven's Halberd not allowing him to do anything. They'll try again. But Savage is going to run out of there with the Solar Crest out. Back in. Still has 3 lives.
That lifesteal, it's like satanic.
Well, he's not critting either, John. That's the point. He could just, if he gets 1 crit, he's going back up to full. They go onto him again. He ignores them now. Going after the Rax. Back onto Drew. The battle trance is there. They are almost through the HP of Moon, but he does have a cheese. And he will eat it. So Alacrity now going to have to start from the drawing board, but there's the Echo coming in. DJ, he slams the lid shut on this game, I believe. As they don't have the buybacks. There are 4 heroes down and the tier 4s are under siege. Fnatic, there's the Aegis expiring now, and just as it expires, the GG has been called. And Fnatic, it didn't really look like much of a competition for them, I'll be honest, John.
No, that was very dominant from Fnatic. RR, they were trying something with this draft. They went all in physical, and that was punished really well. They've got to shake it up, maybe try to go for a bit more versatile draft with earlier timings or tighter timings next time. And Fnatic, if they keep up this pace, well, it's certainly a much better look than what happened to them in their first upper bracket match.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Of course, they can force to a game number 3 RR. They're just going to have to try and win out game number 2 up against this very, very hard team of Fnatic. It is MLP Dota and johnxfire. We'll be back in about 10 minutes to see the game 2 draft and see how that all pans out. And, hopefully, we'll see you very, very soon.